What's going on, my Evercade viewers? My name's Ethan, on the channel, and today I want to talk about why Atari should ditch the Atari VCS for the Evercade VS. Now, for those of you who don't know, Atari back in 2020, they put out a video game console, digital only console called the Atari VCS, named after their most successful game console, obviously, where they sort of published their own games. So I've got a few indie games on it, and that's sort of the story so far. So let's talk about why Atari should leave the Atari VCS in the past and focus on bringing games to the Evercade and future and other systems. Now, first of all, let's talk about the fact that, well, there's more money to be made. For those of you who don't know, the Atari VCS obviously costs about $400 to buy. And obviously, from what I've seen, it's only available in North America. I've tried looking to see if I can get one there in the UK, but the import fees make it like 500 600 quid, so I've not bought to buy one yet because I ain't got the money. But besides that, that means there's a lot more of a limited supply of Atari VCSs because the Atari VCS is a micro PC, so there's probably less people that have Atari VCS than people would think, and a lot of the games on the Atari VCS aren't really system sellers. You know, the Atari VCS Vault 1 and stuff like Atari VCS Vault 2, as well as Atari's brand new games, aren't going to convince people to spend $400, $500, $600 buying an Atari VCS, to be honest, depending on where you buy it from. So the Atari VCS is obviously really expensive because of the hardware within it, and people will say, oh, you can use it as a streaming device. I know you can, but I don't think that's going to be a salad to a lot of people. Then you've also got the fact that a lot of the games are already on Evercade. Now, there's quite a few games from Atari on Evercade. There's about 50 plus games on Evercade from Atari, or at least on Atari Focus collections, those being the two Atari Home Console collections, Atari Arcade Collection 1, and then the two Atari Lynx collections. Now, personally, I think Atari should bring some more of their games over to Evercade. If Blaze can also get licenses to them, I think that'd be a huge win for fans of Atari, especially since maybe if you can't afford a VCS or it's not available in your country, you can get an Evercade VS and play the games on the Evercade VS or Evercade EXP, giving you more options to play your games. Now, another big reason I feel this would be a good thing is because Atari's got working emulators for several systems that haven't been emulated on Evercade yet. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, obviously, there's the Atari XP, there's the Atari 5200, Atari ST, and Atari Jaguar, right? All those systems, you know, Blaze could license to the emulators from Atari and some games from Atari to run on those emulators, and then sell them on Evercade cartridges. And obviously, Atari makes money, Blaze makes money, collectors get Evercade enthusiasts and Evercade collectors get more games to play. I think it'd be a good idea for Atari to do that. I think Atari should go to Blaze, or Blaze should go to Atari and go, hey, you know, we've already worked together on arcade games, 2600 games and 7800 games, and Lynx games. Do you want to team up for 5200 games, XP games, you know, what was the other one I said? That's ST games and Jaguar games? Because I do feel like Atari could genuinely benefit from having their games on the Evercade like that and on physical cartridges and whatnot. I know people were like, well, what about the Atari 50th collection they did on Switch and PS4 or on Xbox? Yeah, what about it? They can still continue to sell them. I'm just thinking that Atari could benefit more from selling their games on Evercade and having their own dedicated console. Now, this could also attribute to new games, because Atari's obviously been producing new games like Atari 50, not Atari 50, Atari Mania, Combinera, and then obviously the Recharge series. And personally, I feel like Atari might be able to take some of those games, redevelop them, and publish them on Evercade as dual carts. You know, games like Combinera, you know, being on the same cartridge as Atari 50. Not Atari 50, Atari Mania. You know, I can see Combinera, Atari Mania being one cart, Atari Recharge carts selling us like two games on one cart. I do feel like that would be quite good for both Blaze and Atari, because Atari's now getting their games in even more gamers' hands. And it also leads to more games on Evercade, which means both Atari and Evercade will obviously see more profits, which means more people will get into both systems. They can promote the systems more, promote the games more, and both sides really win. It's a win-win situation for both sides. Now, Atari could ditch the VCS if they want to. It's their entire decision. But obviously, I do feel like if Atari does decide, hey, we're going to start releasing more of our games on Evercade, you know, it kind of negates the point of there being a VCS. I'm not saying Atari has to ditch the VCS. I'm saying that Atari would benefit from having their games on more platforms, and the Evercade is a big platform. It's not a mainstream platform, but Evercade is growing quicker than the Atari VCS because as we've seen, the community for the Evercade is obviously a lot bigger. There's a lot more games on Evercade. People talk about Evercade more, and there's more videos on Evercade on YouTube. But I personally think that Atari is missing out by not going to Blaze and making deals for Atari 5200 games, Jaguar, ST, and all this other stuff that Atari's made, as well as licensing games that we know would run on the Evercade, as well as just not releasing their new games on Evercade, because Evercade is growing quite quickly. And there's so many people talking about Evercade. I've seen the Facebook groups and the Twitter followings and all of the creators behind it who make Evercade systems or like talk about Evercade grow quite fast and quite substantially over the past year or so. So I kind of feel like Atari could be missing a trick pony by not putting more of their games on Evercade. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. If you like the video, like the video. If you're new here, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you hate me and hate my opinion for this, leave it in the comments down below. I'm sure to read every comment. I probably won't respond if you're saying, I'm going to kill you and all that stuff, but it is. But yeah guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you agree, do you disagree? Subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.